What do you think is the future of legal aid?
Right, I'm going to get a sentence each from these erudite people. Future of legal aid, Des?
I think it's very, very questionable. I take some considerable comfort from Philip's point about the transitional period and breaking into a new structure. We have to make that work.
Geoffrey?
I think there is a future for legal aid if the government will recognise that equality and justice come first, costs and a market-based approach, which was the title of the Carter report, come second. So it's got to be justice first, equality first, not cutting costs.
June?
I'm afraid as a practitioner I'm not so optimistic. I don't think that there is currently a future in the long term for legal aid unless there are major changes. I wish I could think differently.
Karen?
I think there's a great future for legal aid. And I hope there will be even more people here next year to have this debate. I mean, if we can continue having the suggestions about how we spend £2 billion to improve access and quality, that's what we're all here for.
Fred?
I think the future's demoralising. It's incredibly unpredictable. It's financially driven, and unfortunately, the real vulnerable victims at the end of this are going to be the junior end of the profession, and it's ill for it. And the clients as well. I mean, absolutely. And I know what you're saying, that that's the very reason we are striving and carrying on with what we're doing. And there is no way of rectifying these changes that are going to come about. That's the real fear.
Henry?
We have to accept that it is one of the pillars of welfare state. I mean, are we going to get rid of benefits funds? Are we going to get rid of the NHS? Are we going to keep a welfare state? The answer is yes. In a civilised society, we must carry on with legal aid. And if the government's going to bring in 10 years 3,000 new offences, they've got to accept the fact that there's going to be more money spent on defending criminals in the courts. It's as simple as that. And I feel very strongly that within the budget, we can use that money more intelligently and with more imagination. And I'm also convinced we can find ways of bringing new money into the legal aid budget, not necessarily public money, but there are many other schemes around which the government haven't even started to explore. But we need to keep up the pressure in the meantime.
Lesser politicians would have said, when I am minister in the next Conservative government, ... So a great tribute to
I think that there is a future for legal aid. Of course there's a future for legal aid, because I don't disagree with you about it being, you described it as a pillar of the welfare state. A good legal aid system underpins a good criminal justice system. It is a tough time. I mean, this is a huge structural change in the organisation of legal aid. We're right in the middle of it, and no wonder people feel uncomfortable. And what I want to see happen is us move forward as quickly as we can without further destabilisation to one where you do see a long-term future, that you want to be there, you are rewarded, it is good quality, and it's one which the public support. And that's what I want to see happen.